Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today's video we have episode 6 of our Calgary Flames franchise mode. And in this episode, I think we are finally going to start seeing some big changes and really trying to get through the better part of this rebuild. So very quickly before we get into the draft, we have a lot of forwards. Now, as you can see, these are our top ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have about 9 top 6 forwards. And then we have a couple guys, obviously, that can play in the bottom roles. So we got to trade some forwards. Now, Nazem Kadri is one we could look to trade. Unfortunately, we cannot use him to trade up for McKenna because his no move clause doesn't change to a no trade until July 1st. But I think once July 1st hits, we can trade Kadri. I don't want to trade Backlund. He's going to retire the captain, but we have Blake Coleman here. I think we can finally trade away. He's going to have 4.9 mil for 1 year next year. I think he's going to be good for a playoff team. Not going to be too great for us. And then you have Kuzmenko, who I will keep until September. And depending on how guys grow, we'll trade him away. He had an okay year for us. But he's a good veteran presence that, again, can help a competing team. And very quickly, I'll just show you guys what we're looking at defensively. I like our top 6D here: Uyghur, Byram, Drysdale, Arsene, Boyum, and Schmidt. We're going to have to figure out what to do with Drysdale. He's going to need a new contract. And then in the system, we don't have too many guys that are going to be fighting for NHL time. But we do have Zane Perek, finally 20 years old. He's going to be in the AHL. And Hunter Muse as well, finally 20 years old, or Henry Muse, sorry. And he's going to be in the AHL. And then goaltending wise, we have a few prospects here. I'm pretty happy with that. And then Dustin Wolf and still Jake Allen will be the goalies. Maybe we have to get a different backup if Allen doesn't want to come back. And we'll just quickly look, see. Wolf only wants a 2-year deal. We're going to try to either get him on a 4 or a 1-year deal. Because at 1 year, he's still going to be a restricted free agent. And at least if we get him for 4 or 5 years, then there's some term to that. He just wants a 2-year deal because then he can walk in free agency. And we don't want to see that. So let's just hop right into the draft. I'm not too sure what we're going to do yet. I'm pretty sure I want to try to trade up for McKenna. But if that does not work, I don't really have a backup plan. We would then probably just hold our pick and we'd pick at 7. And then we try to... Oh, we have 2 first-round picks here. Hopefully that goalie stays around there. But let's look at trading up with the Bruins. So they don't want to get rid of their pick. And they don't want our picks. I'll simply just offer them to... we'll just start with this. Didn't think that was going to go through. So we'll keep the 7th on here. And we'll see what matches their block. Okay, they want to go young. We don't really want to go young with them. So this is going to be a tough one. Look at defensemen. Mackenzie Weegar we can't trade. And everyone else is young. So we can trade Blake Coleman here. And then we can ask Kadri to waive. I don't know if that necessarily just makes it go through, just adding Kadri. And again, they don't want him. We'll add 18 on there. We'll see if this goes through. They're not interested in what we're sending. I don't want to get rid of the 17th pick, because I really want to make sure we get that goalie. So we don't have any rookie skaters with potential or trade value. We could trade away Byram or Drysdale. I like keeping them. I don't know if that pushes it through. Drysdale is going to be hard to negotiate with because he doesn't necessarily want to be here just because of how bad a team we've been, which completely makes sense. I'm actually going to quickly see if Huberto will waive. That's fair. Obviously, they gave him the no trade, so he has absolutely every right to say no. We'll try adding Kuzmenko to this and just see. I know I didn't want to trade Kuzmenko until September, but that's about all I have. There we go. We got the first overall pick. I'm not taking this Niemi guy. I don't care. And I could have traded for the second overall pick, but I didn't want to risk McKenna jumping up. So there we go. Medium franchise, Gavin McKenna. And yeah, the other guy was only medium elite, so interesting there that he was number 1. So that worked out very well for us. We're going to slowly sim through these picks here. I want to make sure that we don't miss our goalie. Oh! He dropped to 4th, actually. Okay, I'm just realizing that. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I still feel like that was a good trade for us, but maybe because teams panicked because we passed on him? Rubracki was another one we looked at. We would have taken him there probably because a sniper would have been good for us, but again, I think I'm better off with the franchise player. So we're going to quickly look here. So goalie is listed at 18. He's medium franchise. I don't want to lose this guy. Now, isn't slated to go until way later. We'll look at the draft class again now. He's rated to go 18th. We have the 17th, and none of these guys want to trade. We'll sim one more pick. I think we'll try to trade up to the Red Wings pick. I just don't want to risk losing him. It's very easily that he can just be drafted by somebody else. So I think if we just give them the Blue Jackets 3rd. It's too far off. Okay. We'll give you the Avalanche 3rd and our 7th. It's too far off. Do we have a prospect that we can just trade you as well as the 3rd round pick maybe? Aaron Barron here? Or who's this guy? Alan Barron. He's 69 overall. Sure. If we can trade him instead of a pick? Okay, we'll add the 3rd on there as well. We'll go with our 3rd. Trade rejected. I will add the Colorado 3rd as well. Alright, there we go. I know it's quite a bit to give up, but it's worth it when it's franchise potential players we're talking about. And yeah, he's already 72 overall. That's huge. Unfortunately, he plays in the CHL, so we can't get him down in the AHL yet, but like I said, 72 overall, medium franchise goalie, you don't pass on that. And then getting Gavin McKenna as well, even though we had to give up 2 top 6 forwards for that, it's well worth it. So here we go in the 3rd round. We'll sort by potential. We'll see if there's anybody. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. We've got Sean Taves and Ralph Foote. We're not going to take the medium elite goalie. I know it's good, like where we're at in the draft, we could get all 3 of these guys without making a trade probably, but we should spread the wealth. We already got our goalie and we have other goalies in the system. We don't need to take advantage like that. Let's see, 5 years out. I'm gonna quickly check if I sim to the pick 103. So we're gonna wait to take one of these guys. I know it's better value for our pick. The one we'll take is Ralph Foote. I feel like getting that medium elite sniper is better than a 2-way forward. Let's just see if there's any top 6 forwards or any low elites or any top 4 defensemen that are scouted out. Okay, there's none. Okay, we'll look at current scouting rank here. Risk curious. I don't want to get no value here. We'll take a defenseman. See, top 60. We won't mess around anymore. We'll just grab our guy here, the medium elite forward sniper. Here we are. Yeah, even though he's 53 overall, medium elite, that can be pretty good. We'll send to pick 199. We obviously missed the other guys, which again, that's good. We don't need to take everything. And we'll take this guy. It's way off the board. His current scout rank is 375, but he's 3 bars of low elite, so bottom 6 though. That's the 7th round. We got one more pick here. And you know what? Let's take this guy. He's AHL top 6 forward. Maybe that can be something we do. We take some AHL forwards in the 7th round every draft and see if we can't build up an AHL core. So yeah, really good draft for us. It's very important that we get those franchise cornerstone building blocks. And now I really feel like we're set to exit the rebuild, if that's like the right words here. I think we have all the pieces in place. Yes, we are not the most desirable destination yet. We just have to wait on guys' growth. So I'm going to start the re-sign phase here. Yeah, Coronado wants a 3-year deal. He's got 0 interest in the organization, which sucks. At least on a 3-year deal, he's still an RFA. So we probably just do what he wants. I'm just going to show you guys all expiring. I'm not going to show me signing every contract, but I'll just show you guys looking at what they want. And then if I make the deals around what they want, great. If not, I'll show you guys a more in-depth negotiation if that's what it takes. You can see those are the big ones for skaters. And then goalies, Dustin Wolf. Alright, so I'm going to cut here. And I'll show you guys what we come up with in terms of contracts for these guys. Alright, so I've decided to do the in-depth negotiation for Drysdale just because he doesn't want any contract where he would still be an RFA, and I don't want to lose him just after a couple years to unrestricted free agency. So we're going to try to charm him here. Doesn't work. Let's see what he wants here. He's looking for a larger market. Okay, we're not going to try to charm him on that. But about team status, I might. Yikes. Okay, so he couldn't have any less of an interest in us. We're going to see how he feels about a 7-year deal. He wants to be at 6.8 million. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm going to improve the offer by adding in a clause with the modified no trade. They'll cover the entire contract. We'll go 16 teams. If we go promises that he'll be a top 4 defenseman. Promises that he will... Oh, I can't promise I'll never be scratched. Okay. Promise him power play 1. He likes that. It's gone up. The bar has moved. We'll promise him no penalty kill. What if we increase the salary a little bit? About 250K. Alright, let's see. He doesn't want that contract. Alright, I will cut again. I'll get everybody else re-signed. And we'll leave Drysdale until July 1st. We can see what else is out there. Maybe other teams have some restricted free agents. And we can maybe just switch. We'll bring in a guy that doesn't want to be there. And they can have a guy that doesn't want to be here. So just before I sim a day to see who all resigns, we have to take a look at our coaches. We had quite a few coaches that need to be re-signed, starting with Huska, who I'm pretty sure we're just going to fire. I don't like his team fit. Even though it's 56%, I feel like it's not, he doesn't fit with a lot of guys. It feels like he fits with the guys who we don't necessarily care about keeping, and doesn't fit with guys who are going to be here. Like Kadri, we're probably about to trade. That's about his highest fit. Backlund is going to retire within the next 2 or 3 years. He does fit really well with Arsene and Zari, but other than that, it's not the best fits. And honestly, we haven't had the best go, even though we wanted to be a rebuilding team. 91 and 144. Like, is this really the coach who's going to lead us out of this rebuild? I don't think so. The teaching is not where I'd like it to be, even though the coach influence is really good. And then the offense, defense, and power play are just not acceptable. And he's only a B-rated coach, so we are just going to fire him. I think that is the right decision. I'm hopeful in free agency we will be able to find a A-rated coach to come here. Now, our AHL head coach needs to be re-signed. I will just go ahead and re-sign him. Actually, no. I'm going to fire him as well. So what I'm going to do is whatever NHL head coach I find, I'm going to make sure I find an AHL head coach who has all the exact same styles. That way we know when a player comes up to if he fits well in line 1 in the AHL, when he comes to the NHL, he'll fit well in line 1. That way we can early on address prospects to see if they're going to fit our system. And if they're not going to, we can trade them and hopefully get some who are. I will bring back everybody else from the AHL though. At least those who want to come back. We need a goalie coach. If these guys don't want to come back, that's fine. And our NHL assistant coach is fine. And associate coach is also fine. And we do have a few scouts, but let's see who re-signs with us first. We have lots of time to do the scouting. So Coronado rejects. Jake Bean rejects. Wolf rejects. Okay. I offered them everything they wanted. So I'm not quite sure why they rejected. It has to be due to the morale. Like he wanted 6.3, I offered him 6. So I'll just offer him the 6.3. Jake Bean, if he doesn't want to accept the deal for 1.9, like that's what I offered him, he can just get released. And Dustin Wolf, like, you're 81 overall. I know you're listed as a starting goalie, but you're 81 overall. We offered you what you were worth. I'm not going to offer you any more than 4.2. If Wolf does not accept this, we will just qualify him. Maybe he's going to have to be traded. All right, so James Chung, you can just be let go. All right, so we're starting over with a fresh coaching squad in the AHL. So yeah, Coronado doesn't. Wolf also does not. So I want to make it work with Coronado. Like, he's 88 overall. He's listed as a second line forward. That's really good. When our core gets flushed out, if we have a guy like that as our second line winger, like, that's very good. I want to bring him back. On Dustin Wolf, I care a little bit less about bringing Wolf back. So we're just going to qualify him and let him sit. Maybe if we make a trade, he can be a trade piece. I'm just not too sure what I can do for Coronado other than offer him like 6.6. I'm not comfortable going past that. I mean, I know we have lots of cap space, but I do want to try to make some big swings here in free agency. So I don't want to spend all my money, because I know players don't want to come here. So having the cap space to offer, let's say, a Jack Eichel, like 16 or 17 mil, if he's asking for 12 mil, maybe that makes him a sign here. So we'll advance the day. We'll see. Coronado rejects. All right, I'm going to quickly send offers out to all our scouts. I'm not going to make you guys watch that, and we'll just pick this up on July 1st. It's pretty clear these guys don't want to play here. They're restricted, so at least we control their rights, and we'll have to see if teams make offers or if we have to wait a month until they're like, okay, I just want to. Here we are. It is July 1st. We're going to start with the coaching staff off camera. I did all the scouting already. Hopefully all those guys that I put offers to sign. If they do, Every scout we have will be a B- or higher, besides one Russia scout, which means we're doing pretty good in terms of scouting. But we want to take a look at coaches here just because we're overhauling everything. So here we go. We got some A+ NHL head coaches. That's what we're going to look at first, is just NHL. We have lots of options here. Starting with Arneal. He's got a 61% team fit. He fits really good with Medvedov, Byram, decent enough with Arsene. Not with Boyum at all, but also decent enough with Ogren. Don't mind Arneal, he is an option. Rick Tocchet doesn't fit with Uyghur or Kadri. Huberto is lots. He has got Backlund, Zari, Farabee, Medvedov very well, Ogren very well, and decent enough with Boyum and Arsene. So he's an option for sure. Like I said, we're looking to trade Kadri anyways. Look at John Hines here. Actually, let's look. So yeah, Rick Tocchet, his teaching specialty is defenseman. That's good because we've got a lot of young defensemen. And he's A+ everywhere but teaching. So John Hines, a B in teaching, it's not what I want. But it's a 60% team fit. Unfortunately, his fit is mostly with guys we're going to get rid of, like Kadri and Backlund aren't going to be here for very long. I don't know if we're going to keep Farabee, so it's not ideal. You got Jim Hiller here. A's in every category. Not the best team fit. Doesn't fit with Boyum at all. You've got Halpern here. He's immediately a no. I didn't look that much at his team fit, but immediately a no with bad influence in teaching. Got Dean Evanson. Decent record. Not a good looking team fit. Yeah, Patrick Waugh, again, not a good enough team fit for me. Luke Richardson. So he's got all A's. He fits really good with Uyghur, Backlund, Farabee, Byram. He's a contender, I think. Let's see, Bosma's got all A's. Not the best team fits, though. Ryan Warsofsky, not a good enough team fits. Okay, this is interesting. 64% team fit. I know it doesn't show the whole team on this. Like, you can't scroll down. I'm pressing it. It's not going down since it's the off season. But most of the players here are going to be on the roster, right? Maybe not Kadri, but everybody else. And it's good scheme fits. It's a 64% team fit. But he's got B's in offense and defense and a B- in coach influence. And he's a B overall coach. And I think we want to move away from that. I know that the coaches can grow, but what's going to help us is getting an A coach. So I think we're going to start off with Rick Tocchet. Even though his fits are not good with Kadri and Uyghur, they're good enough with Huberto, who's here for the long haul, right? We've already established this. Backlund, Zari, Farabee, Medvedov, Byram, Arsene, Boyum, it's all decent enough fits. So we're going to start with Rick Tocchet. There's a lot of teams interested. We're not the best team. I am just going to throw him a bunch of money. That's pretty much how I expect to be able to sign him, is by offering him the most money. Honestly, let's make him filthy rich. You're getting as much money as we can offer you. You're the coach who I think can lead us out of the rebuild. So now we are going to wait until he signs to offer any other coaches. So yeah, we're going to wait until Rick Tocchet signs or doesn't sign. Said we want to make sure that all our coaches match this team strategy. That way, if someone retires and somebody else is ready for promotion, like, this is what we're going to have. Whatever our head coach is, that's what every other coach that we hire from now on will also have. That way we know, especially in the AHL, when our guys are 77, 20 years old, and they're coming into the AHL, we know if it's even worth our time to develop them. because we can just trade them right away if they're not going to fit in the NHL, because that is obviously the goal. So we're going to wait now. We will look at it, the free agents. I had a little peek at this already before I did the scouting. One guy I want to target is Adrian Kemp, mainly because he has interest in our organization. Now, we're going to have to take a look at all of our players again and kind of mentally like write down what the line should look like so we know where players we're going to sign can fit. Defensively, there is Matheson. Most of these guys are RFAs, unfortunately. So possibly we could trade Drysdale for Lacombe. I don't know if Drysdale's ever going to sign here. Like I said, the org interest is so low. I mean, you only played 3 games in Philly this year. You get traded to us. You play 14 games. You have 6 points. Like, you did good. I'm not sure why. He's never been to the playoffs. So, I'm just not sure why he would never want to come here. Again, like, we only get 2 years of his unrestricted free agency like this. I would personally prefer a 5-year deal. Even a 6-year deal. Like, if I give you 6 mil, or 6.2 for 6, like, are you going to accept this? I don't think he will. We can offer it. I want to obviously keep him. But yeah, these are the RFA defensemen if we're going to trade him. I don't think there's anybody necessarily as good as him. Just because his potential is low elite, I feel like there's a good chance he's going to grow. Lacombe would be the best option. He's just not right-handed, so you're losing a right-shot defenseman. And Brent Clark, I don't think it's realistic that we're going to trade for this guy. Very interesting. Carolina trades for him, and then he's just restricted. They can't afford this, so... And we could offer this, like, we could go after him, but is it going to be worth it for us to lose 4 first-round picks? I don't think so. So yeah, if we look at forwards now that are restricted. So here's Coronado. Here are some players around him. You have Eklund, who I don't think it's realistic for us to trade for. One, he's a 2-way forward. I don't like that. Also, it's a division rival, so also don't think that's good. Same with LaFerriere, division rival. And then you have Bobby Brink, but he's 82 overall. So you're just going to lose this player and get nothing really good in return. So again, we're going to hope to keep Coronado. He wants a 5-year deal, which I'm good with that. Like, he didn't want that when I wanted to offer him contracts before, but if that's what he wants, I'm fine with that. I'm just not comfortable really going over this 6.6. Because if we just take a look here, like, you had 9 points in 34 games, right? Then you're number 1 for us. You have 35 points. In your first full season, that's good. Then you make that jump, you get 65 points, you have 30 goals. Again, that's good, but at 7 million for a 30 goal scorer, we don't know if you're ever going to do that again. We don't know if you're going to have chemistry with the guys we're going to bring in. So it's risky, I feel like, to go more than that. And then, yeah, we'll look here at just the UFAs. Tavares doesn't have any org interest, or he would be intriguing player to go after. Kempe is 29. I could see us being a playoff team in 2 or 3 years. So Adrian Kempe, he's a 4-year deal. He'd be a first-line forward for us. He wants 9.9. We can definitely afford that, but can we afford it for 4 years? I don't think so. That's the issue. Is in 3 years' time, we're going to have Perek that needs a contract because he'll be in the AHL this year. We'll have McKenna that needs a new contract. Medvedov needs a new contract in 2 years. So I don't know how much we can afford his 9 mil for a 4-year deal, but we can for sure afford it for 3. We don't want to lose you for nothing, so I'm going to take away the clause. You can have a no move with a modified. We'll give you like 75% protection, and we'll offer you like just shy of 11 mil. Okay, he says he'll come back to us. I don't think all these players will sign. We don't really need anything else. Obviously, the only thing is we need to be able to hit the cap floor. So, quickly, we're going to view the contracts. Make sure forward-wise, like our first line next year would be Huberto. And then if we trade, maybe we don't trade Kadri. Maybe we just keep Kadri for now. You go Huberto, Kadri, Kempe. Then you go Zari, Medvedev, and Farabee. And then you have Backlund, Ogren, and either Papasil or Hanzik. Yeah, we're going to have to bring in some forwards here. Maybe we need a third line sniper as well. But yeah, Medvedev's not going to be in the third line. He's going to play second line minutes. I'm pretty sure that's what he played this year. That's where I want him. Goalie wise, we need a backup goalie still. Well, we could play Hildeby as the backup. We could. That would make room for Zarubin to be the starter. And then we would just need Zarubin to get a backup. Dustin Wolf needs a contract. Let's see what he wants now that we're in free agency. He wants a 2-year deal. I'm not doing that. Because in 2 years, if we have to let this guy walk for nothing, we do not have a goalie ready to take his place. I don't believe that Zarubin will be ready in 2 years. I also do not believe that our franchise goalie will not be ready in 2 years. So I'm not doing a 2-year deal. I would gladly do a 3-year deal maybe. I think that gives us more time. I'd rather just be on a 1-year deal. Again, we have some money. So like I'll give you 1 year for 6 mil. I know it's probably a bit of an overpay, but it's worth it for me if it means we're keeping him as a restricted free agent. That is huge to be able to control his rights. So yeah, I think we just need, besides Kempe, another third line scorer. So before we sim a day, we're just going to try to take care of that right away. We'll go unrestricted. Let's take a look here at role-wise. So you have Tyler Sagan, could be a good veteran presence. Adam Lowry, Adam Henrique. You have Frost, who we did get rid of. I believe we traded him to Minnesota. He had a decent enough year in Minnesota. Did they make the playoffs? Yeah, so he got some playoff experience. So this does a checking forward though. You got Connor Garland, Danton Heinen, Tarasenko, who I don't think is a good idea to bring in. Screw it. We're gonna go after Tyler Sagan. He's already won a cup. Oh, he's got no org interest. Never mind. Chinikov, I believe, is... Oh, he's an unrestricted. Alright, we're going to go after Chinikov then. We'll offer you 4 mil for 3 years. And he accepts right off the bat. Okay. We'll start simming now and we'll see. Make sure we get our guys here. So these are all the scouts I went after. Like I said, if everyone signs, which it looks like they're going to, we're at B- or higher for every scout, except for the Russia scout. No, we're not want to trade Nate Schmidt just yet. So... Rick Tocchet declines. Consider boosting the cash. Nope. There we go. Dustin Wolf comes back. And Kempe. I agree, man. I hope we have a long and happy relationship. That's very nice that we're able to get Kempe. So yeah, just our RFA is holding out on us. That's a big free agent swing. I'm very happy that we were able to get him. So let's take a look now at coaches once again. This offseason is probably going to be a bit of a longer one. I won't get any sim done in this, but I do want to show you guys this process of bringing in the coaching staff and like my thoughts on how we're going to develop our organization into like contenders at both the AHL and NHL level. So Rick Tocchet declines. The other coach, I believe it was Williams, who had a really good team fit. Now I just want to quickly look over what 8 coaches are left and see if any of these guys had decent enough fits where it's worth it to bring them in. Patrick Waugh just doesn't fit with Boyum at all. Otherwise I would bring him in because he's my favorite goalie of all time. And again, just there's good team fits there with most of the players, just not Boyum. Luke Richardson fits with everyone really but Boyum. I mean, this guy fits well with everyone except for Boyum as well. Ricardo Williams. You know what? Screw it. We're going to go after Rick Richardson. There's a few teams interested. We're not going to offer him 9 mil because I don't believe he's worth 9 mil. I can only offer him 2.8. That can't be right. Alright, well, we can only offer him 2.8. Interesting that Tocchet can get 10 million, but Richardson can't even get 3. Sim a couple more days here. All right. This coaching staff is just not panning out the way I want it to. And my backup B coach is now gone. I'm gonna go after Patrick Waugh. I know there's other teams already interested. We can only offer him 3.2. I'm just gonna hope that he signs. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to kick the tires on Tocchet again. There we go. I'm hearing that your staff chemistry is low. I was going to say no, but I want to be a solution to the issue. That is the kind of attitude I'm looking for. Let's go, boys. That's freaking huge. So let's take a look here quickly at his things. I'm just going to take a picture of this with my phone. That way I can make sure we match this. All the coaches we hire for the AHL need to have this. So let's hire coaches. And we're just going to start with AHL head coach. No, not the coach we're looking for. Okay, so no AHL coaches match this. Great, let's look at all coaches. Let's see if we just offered somebody a bunch of money, if they fit this. It's funny, Jim Hiller almost fits this perfect. Okay. Nick Sagan, you're an NHL associate coach. Don't be mad. I'm gonna offer you AHL head coach. I'm gonna offer you as much money as I can. We're gonna keep going here because we need a lot more AHL coaches. Sam Mayers, you almost fit this. this guy fits this everywhere but two things. You're an AHL assistant coach. Would you accept for an AHL assistant coach? Oh, there's this too. That's fine. I think if they match this, they should match everything else. It's the team strategies I think that matter the most. Okay, you match everywhere but one thing. Will you be an NHL goalie coach for us? Okay, we're gonna stop there. We'll sim a few days and we'll see who accepts. Nice. King accepts his deal. Second accepts. McPherson accepts. Alright, boys. We almost have our coaching staff complete. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's important to make sure this matches as well. This is probably more important. I was going to capture a screenshot of that. I should probably just take a picture with my phone. Because this is probably the more important thing. Right, we can see King. So let's see. He... Balanced. Okay, so he matches everything. So that's fine. Because that's what matters the most. Yeah, he does match everything. Okay, all we need is an AHL associate coach and an AHL goalie coach. So we're not going to mess around. We'll just look at AHL associate coaches, see which ones match this. You don't match. You close enough? No. Okay, this guy is close enough. Then for a goalie coach, are there any associate coaches? I don't really care if he matches because he's just going to be a goalie coach anyways. Hopefully both these guys sign. We can just start fleshing out some more parts of the roster. I think we have a few AHL trades to make and just contracts to sign in general. Okay, we still need an associate coach. Or an assist. Oh no, the goalie coach didn't sign. Okay. AHL assistant coach. Goalies. Just seeing if there's anyone higher than a D minus. Doesn't really look like it. Oh, there's a D. Okay, we'll just offer as much money as we can. Hopefully this guy signs. If not, I'll just find somebody else when I cut. Because at this point, we just need to get this roster fleshed out and get this video wrapped up. I feel like we've gone on for quite a long time. Seems like a lot of my videos are getting close to that 40 to 60 minute mark. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, personally, when I'm watching franchise mode videos, I prefer them to be longer. But I don't know how you guys feel. I also don't know how people feel when they find somebody for the first time if they want their videos to be that long. Like I said, I prefer a more in-depth approach, and especially when I'm watching. So I appreciate that. I just want to see some minor scoring forwards here. Let's make an attempt to be youthful. We'll look at RFAs that have, or UFAs, sorry, with potential. They don't. This way, if I just see them, Hennessy, and why not? Low top 4D, maybe it turns into something. Here we go. We got Berglund here. Just want our organization to be a little bit youthful. Zilipod Colson. He's listed as a fourth line forward. I'm going to bring him in. He can play the fourth line in the NHL, or he can play in the AHL. Either way, I think that's a good signing. Just see here what we have. Suzuki. Listed as a depth forward. Does he want a 3-year deal? He doesn't. At $1 million, he might accept. Let's see here. Lavoie 77. That's good enough for the AHL. Same thing. We'll do a 3-year deal for $1 million. And then I'm gonna find a couple defensemen. $75.24. Team. And we still just need a backup goalie for the NHL. No, actually, we'll just run Hildeby. We just need a goalie for the AHL, sorry. French starter high, you're 23. I'll take it. Alright, we're going to sim to the middle of August. I'll cut it here. I'll pick you guys back up if we make any trades. The only reason I want to cut to about the middle of August is just so that we can go after our RFAs. They should want different deals by that point, even if they only want 1-year deals. We just need to get those guys locked up. Said if anything interesting happens, I'll make sure to pick this back up. If not, I'll just show you guys what our team looks like in September. Okay, we were able to get Coronado to finally sign. It was weird. They both wanted 1-year deals, him and Drysdale, for way less money. I offered them a little bit more than what they were asking for. They rejected, and then they wanted less money again. So I offered them the same thing I offered them the first time. Coronado accepted. Drysdale still. The money offered isn't enough. Okay, so let me show you. He asked for $2.8 million. Now he wants even less. I offered him 5.8. So I offered $3 million more than what he's asking, and he's telling me it's not enough. So I am again, because I'm not going higher than this. Like, you're not a $7 million player. And plus, like, doing this makes their qualifying offers that as well. I don't. Okay. Finally, we have those players signed. Let's just get to next season here. And I'm seriously going to consider trading these guys at the deadline if we are a bad team for players who are on longer term deals. Just because this is such a hassle, I don't want to go through this every time. So, not the team I was expecting us to have. We actually look a little bit better than I was thinking we would. Kadri's down to an 86. I'm kind of glad we didn't trade him, but he is just going to keep going down now. He's got 3 more years left on this deal. You can see he's now a top 9 forward. Hopefully this +5 helps him grow and we can just trade him at the deadline if we're a bad team. I expect us to be a bad team. Okay, this is not going to work for me. So Perek, they've decided, gets to be in the show. So our scene fits everywhere. That's very good. So what if we swap this around? William fits nowhere. So guys, I think we're gonna end up trading William. I will not do it this episode. I'll wait until next episode for sure, but he doesn't fit. So I don't see the point in keeping him. What's his deal? He's got 3 more years left at 0.8. That'd be the only reason to keep him. He's not gonna have a -3 playing here, so Schmidt can be Perek's mentor, I guess. Who is scratched? Yeah, I was gonna say, so Drysdale's scratched. Doesn't fit very well with Waugh either. And then Hanzik is scratched. He played in the NHL last season, had 30 points. I don't remember what line he played on. Probably the 4th line. Looks like he's not really gonna grow. There's not really room for him either. Faraby's listed as 3rd line, Backlund, and then Chinikov. Even Ogren should be playing up the lineup. Papa's on him or where they should be. Let's check the AHL. So yeah, AHL, that looks about right. So good to know that these guys do not fit at all. Good thing these guys are not really prospects at this point. So we can just get rid of them in the future. Scratched. Do we have any guys that are scratched that should be playing? Henry should be playing. I thought we did have one prospect. It must have been Perek. So we'll take out Kuznetsov and we'll throw in Muse. He fits best on the 2nd line, although he doesn't fit there at all. Is there anyone else who fits? Okay. I guess that's what we're going to be stuck with here. We're going to have to find players that just fit the AHL. And then, yeah, this is what the NHL lines look like. I like it. It looks decent enough. We look a little bit weak at center, and we could obviously just do that, but I think it's better for Medvedov to get playing time. So I want to just take a look here. So Kadri fits best on the 3rd line. So what if we put Medvedov up? I know it could be better if Huberto or if Kadri plays there, sorry, because the +5, but getting a +3 for Medvedov, like what, 90 overall, 87, 92, and then give these guys a +1 boost. I think that's better. It spreads the wealth a little bit because you got the 2 vets playing with your rookie, or your young guy gets, he's not a rookie this year, and then you have your 2 younger guys playing with the vet. Let's see about fits here. Farabee fits the 1st line the best. Chinikov doesn't really fit anywhere. What does Farabee do if he's on there? It's a +2. So yeah, we'll keep Farabee on the 3rd line. Ogren fits the 1st line best. Papasil fits the 3rd line. Doesn't get a +1, but I think this is what we're gonna roll with. We might trade Farabee. He's 5 mil for 2 more seasons, and I think it might be better if Ogren plays where he's supposed to, because again, we want him to grow. He's a top 6 forward. He needs a new deal this year. Cairns, I like him playing 4th line. Same with Papasil. I'm not too sure about where to get Hanzik in this lineup. And kind of feel the same way with Drysdale. Not too sure where to get him in this lineup. Bowen Byram fits the second pair best. So Uyghur and Arsene. Where does Drysdale fit? So Drysdale's best fit is the first pair. So we're just going to play around a little bit. I just want to show you guys everything. So that would give a plus. Perek, he's just too good. I don't want to ruin him by playing him lower than he should. So we could potentially do Arsene Drysdale, Byram, and Uyghur. Because again, we're stuck with Uyghur. At least for this season, we're stuck with Uyghur. He has a trade clause this year. Next year, it's modified at least. So on July 1st, we can trade him. We have Zane Perek. Yeah, Perek has to play. I'm pretty sure you guys agree with that. That Perek has to play. Now, Schmidt doesn't have to play. But Boyum isn't going to fit here. So this is the only problem. Is then what? Because Boyum doesn't fit and Perek doesn't fit. Ooh, we might need a new coach. Because Zane Perek, the guy that's supposed to be the future of our team, doesn't fit anywhere. That's interesting. Okay, we're going to end off here. I don't really care too much about the power play, I don't think, because I guarantee you this one's going to be a +5 and the other one's going to be a minus. Okay, it's zeros. I'd rather have Drysdale playing here. Sorry, Uyghur. You're coming off. And this is a good power play. You got Coronado and Perek, so you got two of the younger guys with the vets. I don't care about the penalty kill. And then goalies, Wolf and Hildeby. Then you get Hanzik and Schmidt as the scratches. Like I said, we're going to end here. The biggest question of this episode is what to do defensively. That trade for Drysdale in last episode has kind of given us a plethora of defensemen. We have one more than needed. I'll show you guys. Actually, we'll go to the proposed trade screen. If I show you guys the value, then maybe that'll be a little bit better. You guys can give a better opinion on who should be traded. Oh, we have to give McKenna a contract and get him in. Okay, we'll do that as well. So yeah, forward's got to be traded. If we look here, I'm thinking Farabee. Zari is also an option. He's only a 1-year deal. He's got a little bit more value, but I think it's better to trade away Farabee as he makes a lot more money. We got to bring McKenna into Farabee's spot. Unless he has these. So he does have abilities. So he could potentially play on the second line. But then that leaves Zari without a spot unless Zari can play center. Which the faceoffs are not great for that. McKenna's faceoffs will not be great either. So yeah, Farabee's got to be traded. And then defensively, this is what we have sorted by overall. As you can see, we'll go by trade value. Uyghur and Perek have the highest, so we could trade Perek potentially. Arsene's not going to go anywhere. He fits Wah very well. So we're not going to trade Arsene. So you have Perek, you have Boyum. Boyum only really fits the second pair and it's not a fit. You have Drysdale, and then Byram has the least trade value and is locked up for the longest amount of time besides Uyghur. So my opinion, guys, is that we trade Boyum. Even though he's on the most team-friendly deal, he has the best trade value in terms of the players who I think it makes sense to trade, because you're really only going to trade one of these guys. He's the one who fits the least. He's the lowest, he's tied for the lowest overall. And even though he's got that team-friendly deal, like I said, there's just no fit here. Like Bowen Byram fits on that second pair very well. So I think it's worth it to keep him, especially he's locked up for 5 years. And I don't think it makes the most sense to give up on Perek right away, because maybe once he gets some more superstar abilities, he can be a +2 or 3 with Arsene. So I think it's worth it to keep Perek. So yeah, I'm leaning towards trading Boyum. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. We can probably trade Farabee and Boyum together and get a couple picks or some other prospects back. I think prospects would be good if we can just get a forward prospect and a defensive prospect. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and YouTube. We'll see you in the next one.